Hey, did you hear? What, Mr. Booty? Brett Favre wants to go back to be in the NFL to be general manager or a coach, and he really, really wants to go back to the Green Bay Packers.
What? Mr. Brett Favre, you want to go back to the NFL and you want to be a general manager or a coach for what? What do you got to prove? Why do you have to be a coach? There's no reason to be a coach or a general manager. And I particularly don't think that your team that you used to play for your whole career will want you to be a general manager or a, a coach. I, I just don't see it. I thought you were done with the NFL. I thought you were done with having that kind of life because you're going back to being on the road 24/7 and are filling out papers or doing stuff for the team. I was thinking that you are enjoying the retirement life. So why come back? Why even go back? Is there any reason to go back? I don't think so. I think that you should just relax and enjoy what you have. Your time to yourself. Because you've proven a lot when you were in the NFL. You're a Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. You played till you were 30 something years old. That's freaking amazing. You're almost 40 years old when you're playing. And there's it's just, it might look like it's an easy thing to be a general manager or a coach, but they have a lot of pressure on them. They have a lot of pressure to perform, make sure the coach has to make sure that they are that having a team where it needs to be for the next game, having them have the practices, um, and financial stuff. Being a general manager can't be the easiest job to general manage a football team. But wait a minute. Hey, how about you be our general manager for. Oh, I forgot. We got the greatest general manager ever, Jerry Jones. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I just think it's a bad idea, Brett Favre. I really think it's a bad idea because you got a great life right now. I bet you're in a. I bet you're out in the country enjoying it and just having fun. And that's what you should be doing. You don't need to be in a stressful life like that anymore. This is because it's stressful. It's just plain right stressful of trying to make sure that you have either as a coach, the players ready for the game, disciplined and ready to go every Sunday or whenever the game is, or the general manager trying to run a business of a football team and try to draft people, try to make sure you draft the right people so you can build your team and make it stronger so you might have a better run in the playoffs, get to the championship game, maybe get to the Super Bowl. It's a lot of stress on both the coaching and the general manager. So I ask you, why? Why do you want to do it, Brett Favre? I know you're one of the best football players in a well in a long line of football players. You are one of the best. There's been great football players, but you prove that you are the toughest football player. That you will play through any kind of injuries. You will fight. You will. You almost took a team like the Minnesota Vikings to the Super Bowl. That that's a task that still amazes me. that you did, because that team was pretty awful a few years back, and the Saints won it, and they were really awful too. Ooh, they used to wear those paper bags on our face because the fans didn't want anybody to see the fans that went to the game. They didn't even want people to know that they were at the game. That's wow. But hey, hey, you got a long list of great stuff on your application here, man. So if you want to be a general manager, go for it. If you want to be a coach, go for it. It's gonna be hard. But you know what they say, with hard roads, there's always lots of rewards for your accomplishments. And I'm thinking that if you can be a great coach, you could accomplish a lot of good, solid knowledge to the players. Our general manager, maybe you will figure the business out. Maybe you figured the business out when you were a player, how it works, how it goes, how general managers do their business. And maybe you did the same thing with the when you saw the coaches that you had, you saw how they did it, you saw how they prepared themselves, how they prepared you. So you might have a great knowledge of the game, Brett Favre, but are you ready for this kind of challenge? Uh, maybe you're not. But just remember, this is not going to be any easier than what you did as a football player. But you proved everybody wrong. You proved a lot of people wrong. You proved the Green Bay Packers wrong when they got rid of you. So, all you gotta do is just never give up and never quit. And don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do anything, Brett Favre, because you've done amazing stuff. So I'm just gonna sit back and watch. And as always, Brett, and as always, awesome, radical, cowabunga.